Week 1 of the 2017 season. Now, the team hasn't changed too much, but it's got some big-time new names. The core of our offense is the same. Christian Hackenberg, the man who set the rookie touchdown passing record last season, is our quarterback. Keith Marshall, the home run threat in the league. Maybe, I don't know actually, probably still some better ones last year. I'm not sure, but he's pretty damn fast. So he's at running back. Our receivers looking pretty much the same. We've given Michael Thomas the jump over Malcolm Mitchell, at least to start the season, see how well he does. I'm sure he will do fine in that situation. Nothing against Malcolm Mitchell. Tajay Sharp is our resident slot specialist, and Brandon Coleman has been holding down the #1 receiving spot since this all began. Our offensive line has got 2 new faces on it. It's got Nat Newsom, who looks like a beast. I don't think he's let anything get through the left side so far in this preseason. Obviously only played a quarter a game, but he looks incredible. Very, very big guy and has been holding his own against most players. Edwards is the same. Corey Wong here, our center. He looks like he just looked, all I can really say for these guys, they've looked very promising so far, and that's about it. Rico Gathers has held off Wetherington, but Wetherington has made it hard on him. Played very, very well in the preseason, but Gathers is just that much better. Wetherington didn't quite show enough to show that Gathers deserves to be dropped, and he doesn't deserve to be dropped. That's why he's still our starter. Defensively, we've shaken things up a little bit here. So Dion Jordan, Trey Flowers, still our pass rush specialists there at defensive end. Both of them do a decent job. We're hoping they'll do a better job this season. David Onyemata, a new face at defensive tackle, but he was on the practice squad all of last season, was drafted by the Saints the season before, so wasn't a guy we brought in, was a guy already here. Devon still holding down that first spot. That wasn't meant to be a pun. I can resist making puns. These 2 backup defensive tackles though here, Can and Bray, huge guys. They'll be coming in very handy when we're playing goal line defense. We're going to have a very large goal line defensive line when nobody weighs less than 300 pounds. It's going to be tough to run on us there. Linebacking wise, Joshua Perry is now going to be our run stop specialist, whereas Scooby Wright will come in on passing plays. Kevin Pierre-Louis, our defensive captain. Like I said, don't think you can make defensive captains. If there was a guy making the play calls in the huddle, it would be him. Waddle behind him actually had a very promising preseason, only a 60 overall, but played very, very well. Fackrell has always been an in and out guy, still does a good job. Akeem Davis will be starting at strong safety, but there is someone right behind him, and it's Derek Milner. Now this guy only out for 3 weeks, so he misses the first 3 games. But unless Akeem Davis shows us, and remember, I really like Akeem Davis, but if Akeem Davis doesn't show us enough, we're going to give Milner that shot, because the one time we played him and Stanley together at the safety spots, they were killing it. Both of them break to the ball faster than any players I've seen the previous season. And then we have our superstar cornerback, Jameson Nickerson, 5th overall pick, already in 81 overall. And our second corner spot, we've got Ekpre Olumu, a man who tore his ACL in college and hasn't played football since then, but we trust him, we believe in him, and he's getting a shot to start for us. And then at the slot corner, D. Milliner, who absolutely destroyed it at the slot corner. Killed it there in the preseason. 2 forced fumbles in 1 quarter against the Vikings out of that position, and is just always around the ball when he plays there. Got a lot of trust in him. Specialist wise, the only guy that was allowed to stick around as a plus 70 overall, Thomas Morstead. And then our new kicker, Thomason, who didn't have much to do in the preseason, hit a 43-yarder. We learned that 56 yards is just too long for him. He can hit the goalpost pretty well from that distance, but so we're going to stick to things under 54 yards probably with him, but still, Marquise Goodwin earned himself the kick return spot, and it's time to set our goals. And 7 and 9 I think is, 7 wins is a little bit too low. I'm not going to say we're going to make the playoffs at this point, but I think let's keep it low for now. I know obviously we go higher, we get better XP rewards, but let's just not push ourselves yet. Give us a season. Once we bring in all those rookies, I'll say we win the Super Bowl. I don't care. But not quite. But I think, I think 8 wins is right about where we're going to be. It's where we were last season. We could do better, but I'm not going to risk it and say much higher and get myself fired before I really get to build anything here. And with that all said and done, it's time to play the Vikings, and we're hosting them at the Superdome. So on the first play of the game here, the Vikings sent only 2 receivers. Everybody else is back to block, which means our cornerbacks had an easy day keeping them shut out, which meant Kevin Pierre-Louis had all day to sack Bridgewater there. This is the exact next play here. Akeem Davis makes a very nice play there, coming downhill, tackling Peterson. And then on the 3rd play in a row here, again, Devon Still gets Bridgewater. That's 2 sacks in the first 3 plays. We're bringing the pressure easily here. However, on offense, we did have to punt away after our first possession. I think it was a 3 and out, but it was a nice punt. We get that down inside the 7-yard line. Silver linings wherever you go. They're back on offense, but Kyler Fackrell here didn't bite on that play fake whatsoever. Sacks Bridgewater again. And on 3rd and 17, he completes a pass in the flats, but our new slot specialist here, D. Milliner, gets to Rudolph quick enough. Stops them there, they go for the field goal, and then we had no luck until this play, and this play only happened because of our rookie left tackle, Nat Newsom. Now you think, how is a rookie left tackle helping us on a run to the right? Well, he was halfway down the field, putting that final block on Harrison Smith. We'll see in the replay up there at the top. That's Nat Newsom blocking Harrison Smith, freeing Keith Marshall for that huge touchdown. What a play from the rookie tackle. And then talk about tackle. None of that happening here. Everybody getting free, but we do have our cornerback who can play safety because he's got 96 speed and is always there to clean up for us. Defense let us down, but then makes up for it, holding them to just the field goal, so we're up 7-6. And on 3rd and inches, we go for a flip here. Keith Marshall breaks that tackle, gets the first down easily enough. And running's been going okay today. Passing, we've got a little bit of a problem. Hackenberg not quite dialed in yet. It was there with Michael Thomas. Maybe it was a little bit ambitious, but he just overthrew him. And then, why do you think we have Joshua Perry in on blitz plays and against the run? That proves it there. And why do we have Scooby Wright in against the pass? Well, that proves it there the very next play. 2 plays in a row, one with our blitz specialist, one with our pass specialist, and we get an interception and a tackle for loss. But then this happens, so we did nothing with our possession again, gave the ball back to them, and then he's trying to kind of humiliating us there, taking the long way around into the end zone. 61-yard touchdown because of some missed tackles, but then it's a 2-point conversion. Who comes up on 2-point conversions? It's Kevin Pierre-Louis. He's always there. Stops Bridgewater there, means they're only up 12-7, and then with the ball again in the red zone. So we again gave up a play. We do sack Bridgewater there, which is nice. That is Trey Flowers, holds them to a field goal again. So the defense has been looking after us. Offense doing absolutely nothing, defense looking after us. Again, they've got possession again. Dion Jordan was clearly held there, but still Trey Flowers manages to get the sack, so of course we would decline that penalty. They punt away to us on 4th and 17, and then Marquise Goodwin here has a really good return. Does get caught right there, maybe could have taken it all the way. Obviously couldn't take it all the way, but I think one other block there could have maybe sprung him free, but still it puts us in really good field possession, allows us to give that ball to Brandon Coleman there, takes it down to the 6-yard line, and if he gets us that close, we might as well give him the ball on the very next play. A quick slant there for Brandon Coleman, takes it into the end zone, so it's a touchdown. Of course we're going to go for 2 points here, and Janovich was wide open. Hackenberg about to be hit, but he manages to get rid of the ball to the fullback. 2-point conversion, it's 15 square. 1 minute left in the game. Our defense needs to come up here again, and they do with a sack on Bridgewater. And we managed to stop them getting any first downs, which means they got 50 seconds left. They run it on 3rd down there. Darren Stanley comes, lays the hammer down on Peterson. We take the timeout. 47 seconds left. We need to get into field goal range. Can it be on this play? No, because Tajay Sharp drops the ball. 4th and 5 now. And what a catch by Tajay Sharp. He dropped one earlier, but then a contested ball he brings down in midair. We can get into field goal range here with a good pass. We find someone. That wasn't who we were trying to find there. Malcolm Mitchell steals it away from Rico Gathers, but takes it probably further than Gathers ever would. 4 seconds left. The rookie kicker's been iced on a 35-yarder, but he splits the uprights. We get the field goal. We win 18-15 in our first game of the season. That was certainly closer than you'd want it to be. Wow, that came down to the 4th quarter there. I mean, we scored in the 2nd, and we didn't score again until the 4th, and then we scored a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and that final field goal whilst iced. I gotta tell you, I like this new kicker. That's a little bit unfair to Connor Barth, who did do well under pressure actually. He just didn't do well when not under pressure. Christian Hackenberg, not a good day for him. I mean, completion percentage wise, it wasn't bad. He didn't do anything wrong necessarily. I mean, no interceptions, just the 1 touchdown, but he also, we just didn't, I think it was maybe not as much him as in there was incredibly good coverage. There was nothing really there. The only things that were there were short, and they just weren't working whatsoever. So 161 yards, that's it from him. I'm sure we didn't do much more rushing. Yeah, 61 yards for Keith Marshall on 8 attempts. I don't even know how we played an entire game with such low yardage. We'll have to look at the punt statistics for Morstead, because I'm sure he had a field day. So receiving wise, this time I don't think DJ Foster's going to be leading the team. 8 receiving yards. That's what I was saying, right? 7 receptions, 8 yards. We had to go short. There wasn't anything open anywhere else, and there wasn't anything open short either, except for DJ Foster caught the passes. That's about it. Tajay Sharp dropped a pass when we were coming down to try and win the game, and then made an insane catch on 4th down. One that I really didn't expect to make, you know? It's kind of, it was our only option. We needed to try and get it to him. He was covered, but he still made the catch somehow, some way. Brandon Coleman, touchdown from him. It all happened right in those last 2 minutes pretty much. Well, it was, I think, the final 3 minutes, but Brandon Coleman scores the touchdown. Janovich gets the 2-point conversion, just managed to release it in time before getting sacked. He was uncovered. Michael Thomas did okay, but Malcolm Mitchell, you know, he was replaced by Thomas, and he shows me why he shouldn't have been. Gets that final catch at the end, takes it down all the way to the 18-yard line, 4 seconds left, sets up the game-winning field goal. The right side, again, as per usual, it was last season as well, is the weaker side there, allowing 2 sacks, but what can you do right now? I wonder who the best player on the defense is. Oh, look, it's Kevin Pierre-Louis, 10 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks. We had a field day with sacks. They were coming left, right, center. Everybody had one. Darren Stanley doing a good job there at free safety. Had a key tackle of Adrian Peterson. I say he did a good job. Everybody did a terrible job for most of the game. Missed 101 tackles. Of course, we only allowed 15 points, which actually was 2 field goals and a touchdown. So they did all right. But in terms of red zone defense, we did quite well. We did really well, actually. However, missing tackles and letting Peterson go for a whole bunch of yards, we did that badly. Actually, no, we did that really well. We let him go for loads of yards quite effectively. Look at these numbers. That's insane. We didn't have numbers like this like all of last season, pretty much. 2 sacks for Kyler Fackrell. I don't know what got into him. He wanted a piece of the action today. 2 sacks for Trey Flowers. 2 sacks for Kevin Pierre-Louis. 1 sack for Dion Jordan. 1 for Devin Still. Some of those came when they mattered the most. An interception for Scooby Wright, which I'm really happy with because obviously we made that change where Scooby Wright would come in on passing plays. He rewards it with an interception. And we somehow managed it. Probably one of the lowest scoring games we've been a part of. One player has regressed. Nobody did anything bad. Injury? When did he get injured? I really don't get that. He was obviously injured at the start of the season, but surely that would have come up at some other point. Anyway, it's no issue. We'll just have to get his injury stat up again though, because obviously we don't want him getting re-injured frequently. I'm going to give Thomas another chance, one more game. If Malcolm Mitchell outperforms him when it really matters again, you're going to have to give it back to Malcolm Mitchell. You don't really have a choice there, but time for the next week. So we start the season 1-0 and under very different circumstances to how we started the season before that, where we lost 51 to whatever it was. Very close game, 15-18 we win. And there's pretty much nothing to say apart from let's go play the Panthers. On their first drive, the Panthers have been able to move the ball, and this is what you got to look out for here. Cam Newton on the scramble. Dion Jordan does manage to catch in there, not for a sack, but holds him to a gain of a single yard. And they're in our red zone here, but that was a nice tackle from Trey Flowers and D. Milliner together. Holds them there, and then Joshua Perry there with the forced fumble. Kyler Fackrell picks it up, and he's got such an advantage. He's never going to get caught. He was in good position because he actually bit on the running back on that option play, which means he was perfectly placed to pick the ball up, run it back for 77 yards for the first score of the game. And obviously they get the ball back after that. And Ekpre Olumu had a shot at the interception there, but will take an incomplete pass. 4th and 10, they've got to punt it away now, so they're giving us the ball. We've already scored once, we've got another chance to go down now, but Marquise Goodwin doesn't really care about the offense. He's going to go take it all the way himself. He's got the speed, nobody catches him. Punt return touchdown. We're now up 14-0. The offense hasn't even touched the ball yet, so the Panthers are back again with possession. Throw it downfield. Darren Stanley on the coverage there, the rookie safety. Takes the interception, tries to take it downfield, gets tackled, but it was a decent return, an even better interception there, just grabs the ball out of the air. Offense does nothing. We've got to punt it away here, 4th and 6th. But look what happens here. Hits one of the Panthers players. Nobody reacts to it apart from the Saints players. There's a bit of a scuffle over who's going to recover it, but we get it because it touched a Panthers player. We get possession. but we don't manage to capitalize. That's how close we get to a touchdown. No closer, so we had to settle for 3 points, but Jameson Nickerson really thinks that's a shame, wants to give us another chance. That's another interception, this time the rookie corner. So we've had an interception from the 6'4" rookie safety, we get an interception from the 6'4" rookie cornerback. Everybody's contributing. Again, all we could do was get a field goal out of it, but the defense is doing a lot here. Offense letting them down a little bit. So the Panthers back on the ball again, and surely not again. Yes, again, D. Milliner this time. Everybody's in on this action. That time, Jameson Nickerson couldn't get it himself, tips the ball up. D. Milliner cleans it up. That's her third interception of the game, and it's not even half time yet. And this time, our rookie kicker bangs another field goal. Nice distance on that one, but again, we've got to start scoring some touchdowns here. A throw there, and finally, it was bound to happen. They had luck, but look how fast Jameson Nickerson is. Sure, that was a bad play, but it's just ridiculous how he can catch up with a guy. It was a tight end, but still, a missed opportunity for a sack there. We could have got him, almost got him again, but instead they throw the touchdown, so they do get a touchdown there. Now 23-7. Offense, it's time to start doing something. They do a little bit, but that just shows how inaccurate Christian Hackenberg's been. If he throws that in front of the guy, it's probably a touchdown. However, he can hit a wide open Brandon Coleman, puts the ball in front of him. He catches it in stride, to be fair. Very good accuracy on that one, and we get a huge touchdown there. Everybody bit on the play fake. Coleman beats his cornerback, and he goes in. Now we're running into a full box here with Keith Marshall, but who cares? He still goes all the way. 89 yards for the touchdown. That's what Keith Marshall can do. Home run ability with this guy. Didn't have much luck all day today until that 89-yard run there. Now the Panthers get the ball back again. This time, surely not another interception. Nope, Newton runs with it, and this time Jameson Nickerson causes a fumble. So Jameson Nickerson with an interception, with a forced fumble, with a fumble recovery. The second fumble of the day that we caused, and he has a nice little screenplay, so we do get some movement on offense. It's not a huge play, but it's a nice play, and we'll take it at this point. And then we'll try and run for another touchdown here. Keith Marshall trying to get to the outside, actually fumbles. That might be the first fumble he's had so far. Maybe not, and then they do get us there. That was a bad play call, should have been cover 2. We go 0, and he beats our man Ekpreolumu. Well, that's certainly something new. We have never dominated a game defensively like that, ever. Offensively, we weren't actually that good. We weren't terrible. The passing game really never got going, 175 yards, but 66 completion percentage. Keith Marshall broke that huge 89-yard run and had a couple of other decent ones as well. We didn't get any sacks today, but we did get a couple of tackles for losses, and we got 3 interceptions. One by D. Milliner, one by Jameson Nickerson, and one by Darren Stanley. So 2 rookies put their names on the board there with interceptions. Both of those interceptions were pretty good. James Nickerson caused that other interception for D. Milliner. It might only be week 2, but it only took him 2 weeks to have a coming out party. And did he have one today? He also got a forced fumble, so did Joshua Perry, and he had a fumble recovery as well. Forced the fumble, recovered his own fumble, and Kyler Fackrell, of course, had that huge 77-yard return with the fumble for a touchdown. We've never been this good on defense. We were good last week. It was a low-scoring game. Today, we were incredible. Of course, what I forgot to mention at the end of that was Marquise Goodwin's punt return touchdown as well. We went 14-0 up, and the offense hadn't even touched the ball yet. We do have some things that need addressing here. One player has regressed, which happened last time. If this is Keith Marshall again, I'm going to be slightly worried. One new injury, which is Tajay Sharp, broke his collarbone. He's out for 7 weeks, but we were having the problem that we didn't know where we should play all of our receivers. So many players had played well. Tajay Sharp getting injured is obviously a shame, but just opens up space for other people to play when they were good enough to play anyway. One player has regressed. Who has regressed and why? It's Keith Marshall again with the injury thing. If he's going to lose 4 a week, he's going to get seriously injured at some point. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem is here. It's not like we played him earlier than we should have done. I don't know why he's regressing with injury every single week. We didn't put him in earlier than he should have been. He fully recovered. He had the off season. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that with Marshall. The way it looks right now, Malcolm Mitchell has stepped up into the number 3 role. But let's just talk about this defense for a second. Last year, it was pretty good actually. We didn't give up too many points. Well, after having a terrible start, we didn't give up too many points. Pressure we've already seen a lot of. Last week they had 8 sacks. No sacks this week, but 8 sacks last week. This week they get 3 interceptions, and I think it's largely down to these 2 guys, Jameson Nickerson and Darren Stanley. I feel like they've completely changed what this defense is about. Coverage is just that much better now with them in the game. D. Milliner at slot as well, we can't get over. He's shutting down the slot a lot of the time. Ekpre Olumu, I'm still a little bit mixed on him. He's had some good plays that he could have made even better plays. 2 interceptions he could have had and didn't get. Also obviously gave up that touchdown at the end, but that was a bad play call. We played zero coverage, really should have been playing it safe with 2 man. And also playing these two at different times, playing Joshua Perry in rush situations, Wright in pass situations has worked out really well. This defense is on another level this year, and when Milner comes back, I still plan to play him above Davis. I'll give him a chance to prove that he should play above Davis. I think we've got a serious contender on our hands. So we start the season 2-0, we start it very, very promisingly on defense, and we'll see if we can continue that in the next episode.